Alrighty, folks, we've got the one and only Mr. Brian Adamson. He has been out and about enjoying life, but he did catch my live stream yesterday, and apparently we're going to have a chat about that. So, Mr. Brian Adamson, welcome back. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. As you can see, I'm still in my resort where I had to check out the resort today and run home so I can have a conversation with you, man, because I saw something yesterday that I think was very interesting in a different way than maybe you even looking at it, right? And so
Okay.
obviously we talking about the whole David Green thing. I had the pleasure of meeting David when I did my Bigger Pockets interview sometime earlier this year.
Yep.
And I didn't see his interview,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, I didn't see his video that he recorded, right? But you
Right.
you provided enough context to where I got a pretty good picture as to what was happening there, right?
Yeah.
So I'll start with this. Congratulations, right?
Okay.
Congratulations, because you are now noticed amongst many, and that continues to grow. And some are going to show their adoration towards you in different ways. Right? When people hate on you, that's really just another form of adoration. They just have a difficult time expressing it.
Mm.
So I just want to congratulate you on the work that you're doing. That someone who clearly doesn't identify with the way in which you go about doing your business thought
Hmm.
enough of you to take time out to talk about it. Because
Yeah. Good point.
why would we make notice of someone else that we don't agree with to spend time to talk about them and we don't agree with them? Like, why not just keep doing what we're doing? So
Yeah.
clearly you're making enough of an imprint and an impact to where he's bothered by the fact that you're doing it your way, which is juxtaposed the way that he does it, but he felt like it was worthy enough to talk about you, Mr. Hoover.
Yeah, Mr. Totally disrespectful, Mr. Huber. That was great. It's really nice to hear that from you. Um, you probably know this name. You may not know this person, but Pace Morby.
Mhm.
I know his wife, Laura Morby. Pace Morby reached out to me the other day after this drama and actually sent me a 4-minute video of Grant Cardone talking about haters, which
Mhm.
was essentially the same idea as like, congratulations. You want more of this. And it's really so first off, you're right. My natural reaction to somebody who has been bullied and picked on and always felt like the underdog is all right, mother effer. We're
Mhm.
going to fight, right? We're going to go to war. Now, 2 days later, 48 hours later, I'm just not there anymore. I'm like, it's okay. He's, this is America. You're still allowed to have your opinion. This is not Great Britain where you go to jail for your opinion. Um, it's okay. And I really think it boils down to how we got where we are. David Green got to where he is by being an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
Mike Zuber got to where he was by being an employee. And I really think if you're an entrepreneur, David Green's your boy. If you're an employee who likes their job and wants to live below their means and buy assets slowly, one at a time, David Green's probably not a fit for you because that's just not how he thinks. And, so some of this is just maturity on my side, but you're right. To be recognized by a Bigger Pockets ex host who's, I don't know, he's probably 100 times, 1,000 times more known than me in real estate. You're right. I should take that as a compliment.
For sure. For sure. It's the more that we grow in this space of social media, we don't get to pick and choose how people receive us. We
Yeah.
just don't. What we do get to pick and choose is our response to that. And to your point, I believe that it was just in your favor that you didn't record on Saturday, right?
Oh, yes. Believe
Because
me.
yesterday I felt the vibration through the video. Still, I'm like, I'm so glad Mike didn't shoot a video yesterday. Because on the other side, and right, and that's why honestly I rushed home to have this conversation with you because I wanted to remind you of what this really is, right? It really is the fact that you are making enough of an impact that you are getting attention of others, those that don't agree, that still would take the time out to let you know that they disagree. And
Yeah.
so that says a lot. Now, what would have said even more to me is had he reached out and said, I think your approach is very unique. It differs from mine, but yet we still have a common goal. Maybe we should talk about it,
Yeah.
do this together, right? But
Yes,
but the reality is sometimes, and I'm not saying this, I know David in a small segment of which we communicated, but everybody don't want to be allies,
that's true. Yeah,
right?
it's really funny you bring this up because I've been having a lot of conversations. The real estate, I don't know, education, social media space is not that big. You know, there's probably less than 500 of us and probably less than 250 of us. So it's a small world. We
Hmm.
all know people that know someone, right?
For sure.
We're one connection away
For
from me
sure.
having his phone number.
Yeah.
I am to the point where it's like, you know what? I think a David Green, Mike Zuber podcast would be amazing
Yeah.
because I do think we have the same end goal
Hmm.
to help the middle class get wealthy.
Hmm.
I believe that pretty certainly that we have the same goal.
Hmm.
We just come at it from entirely different, like red and blue, left and right, black and white, whatever, differently. And I think that if it was respectful conflict, would probably be pretty awesome. And that's where I
Absolutely.
got to today. So I actually have a couple of people that know him well. I got one guy. That's actually why I was late today. I was talking to somebody that lives in his neighborhood that can
Okay.
knock on his door in 5 minutes,
Yeah.
right? A 5 minute walk away. So we're trying to make that happen.
Hmm.
And then to your last comment about we're not all allies, you're absolutely right. I have two people that know him well reaching out right now in the
Yeah.
next 24 hours.
Yeah.
If he chooses to accept, awesome. If he chooses to say no or ignore or be belligerent, then it's okay. It's
Yeah.
totally okay. We don't have to be allies. It's totally
Yeah.
fine. We could be the other thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Oh
know
my.
what I mean?
The
You know
other
what I
thing. I
mean?
like that, Mike. That was so rich, man. The other.
So yeah,
Everybody comment below the other thing. Like that was
yeah,
so rich. That's the title. Like the other thing. I like how you did that. That was poetry in motion, man.
there you go. We could be the other thing. And I'm okay. I have lots
Yeah.
of people that are on the other side.
I'm gonna
I
tell
think,
you, Mike, when you have a difference, when you have a different approach that's not sexy, but people identify with it and is real and tangible to people, it's intimidating to your peers, man. I see it every day in my space. Like people who I would think based off of the way in which they view things and the way I view things that are, although we don't have agreement, we have alignment,
right.
right? And so, but I've realized that people are just intimidated by the way that I package things. It's not sexy. I'm not using props. I don't have to use lifestyle for the purposes of illustrating my, right. And they don't, because they don't know how not to do that. The way I do it is intimidating to them. So they rather be the other thing than
Yeah.
allies, right? And that's
That's
just what it
okay.
is. You can't change that. And one thing that I remember you saying that you took away from Dave Ramsey at that talk was
Yeah.
stay consistent in your message, right?
Stay on message.
Yes,
He
sir.
screamed that. I can still feel it. It made my hair stand up. Because again, if you listen to Dave Ramsey, he's essentially said the same thing for 20 plus years. And he still impacts millions of people every year. I stay on message. I'm like, got it. Get to 4, daily discipline, buy box, got it. And it's not sexy.
Yeah,
Dude, I don't edit my videos. I don't try to chop up and put in the first 5 seconds. I don't think hook. I don't, it's okay. I'm
yeah,
trying to find a tribe that resonates with me,
yeah,
that are okay being employees, live
yeah,
below their means, buy one at a time for a decade, and life is better.
100%. And the truth is, much of what I gathered from your video yesterday was that you appreciated David's approach.
Absolutely.
Right? You
It's
got nothing
different than
against
mine.
that. Yeah,
No.
nothing against it, right? And the truth is, I think everybody, you, me, and him probably agree on your job should be your first business partner.
Yeah, I would think so. Yes.
You, right? I think where he may differ or even maybe a little bold on one side is that everybody should be a business owner. And I
Yeah,
don't
that
believe that
rubs me
everybody
the
should be a
wrong
business
way.
owner. I think everyone should invest in some business, but I don't think everyone should be a business owner though. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, the numbers. I mean, and I said this yesterday. I mean, David Green is running a big operation. He
Mm-hmm.
had 100 people. Now he has 50. Do you have any idea how stressed I would be if I had 50 mouths to feed? It might kill me. I am just not that guy. He is. He enjoys it. He loves the puzzle. He loves
Yeah.
the game. By all means, you do you, but don't tell me my way is wrong,
Yeah.
especially in a world where Ed Milet says 90% of people are like me and only 10% of the people are like you. That's disrespectful,
Yeah, for sure.
right? I did not enjoy that. And the last thing, and this really got me, and this is really, when I think about it, is still somewhere between disrespectful and hurtful,
Okay.
is he assumed I create content to sell books and courses and all of these things, which, if you've watched me over the years more than once, you know is not the case. I
The
don't run
furthest thing
ads.
from
I don't,
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
geez, I don't do any of this stuff.
Yeah.
I create content for two real reasons. Number one, I don't want to get a job. I tried to be financially free at 45. I'm a type A. I need something to do every day. I was getting emotionally depressed and suicidal doing nothing. I can't do nothing. I almost got a job because I was depressed. I found a way to convince myself, if I, create 2 or 3 hours of content 5 days a week with no editing, no marketing, no ads, no team, that that's enough for my ego. And now I've been doing it for 6 years, and I enjoy every video, every conversation. And I
Yeah.
won't edit. I won't do these things.
Yeah.
So that's number one.
Okay.
Number two is I am chasing a different dragon.
Mm.
David Green admitted he creates content because he needs funnels in leads to feed 50 people.
Mhm.
I don't have any of that.
Yeah.
I am creating content because I'm chasing a different dragon, and my dragon is impact. I am trying to create something that outlives me by 50 years.
Yeah.
It's just a different game. So when you are disrespectful and assume everybody is like you, that is just disrespectful.
Wait a
And
minute.
that's
So,
not
so
okay.
he planted his flag and saying that you were creating content for the
To
purpose
sell
to sell
stuff,
courses?
to sell
Really?
courses and book. Absolutely. He said it.
That's a pretty bold statement for somebody to say about somebody they don't know.
He said it.
And it's just ignorant, right? It couldn't be further from the truth. I know you well enough to know I'm one of those ones that's been pushing and nudging you to do more in that space, right? So I know that it's just not true. And it's so interesting when you say that, because most people think when you finally reach freedom that you're finished. And it's like, no, that's just when life starts.
Exactly.
Because much of the time, until you get to that point, you're doing things by default. You're doing things out of obligation. You're doing
You
things that
have to.
you desire to
Yeah.
do. You're doing things that you got to do, not that you get to do, right? But then when you get to freedom, then you start to live life based on what you get to do versus what you got to do. And then so you really start to tap into why God created you, the unique gifts that you have that maybe were suppressed in your place of employment that now you get to share with the world, right? And so you and I both get fed from feeding. That's a sense of fulfillment. As we're
Absolutely.
giving others information and seeing them have transformation from it, we get fed from that. And so nothing wrong, obviously, with selling courses, nothing wrong with providing services for people, because, and you know this, Mike, while we put out a ton of community-based content, the percentage of people that will actually take action on that versus the amount that see it's almost like nasty to talk about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, scripture tells us that the heart follows the pocketbook. Where your treasury is, so your heart will be. So it's important that we offer paid products and services, because for those that actually vote with their pocketbook are more likely to actually take the action on the thing that they said to get the transformation that they want, right? But to say that your motivation behind creating content was for that purpose, it sounds as if maybe he was bothered by the fact that that's not your position. And so he wanted to try to pull you into, and again, I'm not trying to speak for the guy, but it take a lot of nerve to do stuff like that by making bold claims about strangers, and you have no idea what's the origin story as to why they even do what they do.
Yeah, that was hurtful. I mean, again, he doesn't know me from Adam. He got my name wrong, I think on purpose. And but it's okay. Again, I think we have such opposite views, that would be a very interesting conversation, assuming
Yeah.
we could keep it respectful.
Hmm.
But like I said earlier, I've got two people that know him well, one that lives in his neighborhood, and we're going to reach out. We're going to be adults. And if you choose not to play, it's okay. We can be the other thing. I'm all right with that. I got lots
Yeah,
of those.
for sure. For sure. Well, I guess my whole conversation today to you is get used to
Ah, I love you,
it.
man. That's
No, I'm
so awesome.
serious.
Yeah,
Get
no,
used
I
to
I
it, man,
feel it.
because they
I
haven't, this the tip of the iceberg, bro. And the reality is because of your consistency, you've been getting pulled into environments and rooms and on stages that most people can't pay to get on.
mm,
And that's bothersome to people that would sometimes pay to get on those, right? So you have to just, I always say favor isn't fair, right? When
yeah,
God's favor is on our life, it doesn't look fair to folks, and it shouldn't because it's not. But you've been
yeah.
sowing enough good seeds that you're reaping harvests in different areas of your life, and we can't enjoy the harvest and think everybody is going to enjoy it with us.
Brian, I appreciate this conversation. Thank you for rushing back. This has made me feel even better. I felt pretty good, but I feel much better now. Um, I just appreciate our friendship more than you know. And where can people find you?
Yep, Brian Adamson official, YouTube, Instagram, and everywhere else. And courtesy of Mike, we talked about it while he's out on his hiatus. I will be doing a special 1 hour segment inside of school with all you amazing people. So look out for the details on that pretty soon and bring all your questions.
I love it, folks. Aren't our millionaires that come back every week amazing? He's going to do a 1 hour private only session inside school. We'll get the Zoom link. Get your questions ready. It will be something not to be missed. Brian, you're amazing. Thank you.
Appreciate you, bro.